Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. In 2nd Chronicles chapter 26, we have Uzziah becoming king when he's 16 years old. And it says in verse 4 that he did right in the sight of the Lord according to all that his father Amaziah had done. And so he had been faithful to the Lord. And there's some things that came out of that faithfulness. For one, he had victory over the difficult circumstances that arose, particularly in connection to the Philistines in verses 6 and 7. He became strong in verse 8. He gained protection in verses 9 through 10, the first part of verse 10. And then he was fruitful in agriculture, the latter part of verse 10. He became skilled in warfare, verses 11 through 15. And these are all positive things that came out of Uzziah's faithfulness. Victory over difficulties, becoming strong, gaining protection, being fruitful, and being skilled in warfare. And I would say that these are some positive things that can come out of our faithfulness to God. As we are walking with the Lord and we have our hearts in tune with the Lord, directing our steps in accordance to the Lord, we also have the Lord as a help in time of need. And because the Lord is there to help us as we are devoting our lives to Him, we find that He gives us victory over our difficulties. He helps us to become stronger as time goes by. We also, of course, have Himself as our protection. We also begin to live a fruitful life before Him as we are connected to Him, especially connected to Christ, who is the vine. And then He helps us to be skilled in warfare, that is, in spiritual warfare, and helps us to able to get a foothold over Satan himself. And so these are positive things that Uzziah had in a very physical sense, but these are positive things that we have in a spiritual sense as we walk in faithfulness to Him. And I would say that in some cases, even in a physical sense in our walk with the Lord. But something bad also came out of his faithfulness, in that because he was so blessed for being faithful to the Lord, it led to pride. In verses 16, we have him being unfaithful to the Lord. He enters the temple to burn incense on the altar of incense. He becomes prideful and he begins to take unlawful liberties that he was not supposed to take. Offering up the incense was something that the priests were to do. And here you have Uzziah being bold and just walking in there and offering up incense. And as a result, he becomes leprous and he loses the influence that he had gained before. And so, in summary, you could say that he became prideful and he became, he lost his power and influence. And that's something that can happen with us as well. As we're walking faithfully with the Lord can lead us into a lot of successes and can protect us and help us to be strong and can help us to be fruitful in His kingdom, to help us to be skilled and even in spiritual warfare. But we have to be very careful that that doesn't lead us into pride, to where we begin to boast in our own righteousness, we begin to boast in our own abilities, and even boast in the very blessings that God provides us. If we do so, it's very likely and very probable that we are going to lose our power and influence. The Lord will no longer be able to bless us as before because we've taken the blessings of the Lord and used it to become arrogant and prideful in the things that He's blessed us with. And we lose our influence with others because other people can see the pride in us. They can see the arrogance in us. And they too are repelled by that and are no longer being influenced by our faithfulness because it's overshadowed by pride. And so as we're walking faithfully before the Lord, yes, we can expect great blessings. We can expect the Lord's help. We can expect Him to strengthen us and to guide us and to help us to be fruitful and skilled in warfare and become strong soldiers in His kingdom. But we just have to check ourselves and make sure that we're not allowing that to then feed into our ego or our pride. But always remain humble before the Lord. No matter how richly He blesses us, no matter how successful we are in connection to the Lord, even if that success might be rooted in our faithfulness to God. We never want to be prideful about that and never become arrogant. We always want to walk humbly before our God, seeking Him above all things and recognizing that it's only through Him that all blessings flow. So hopefully the story of Uzziah will help us to do that. And with that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.